It is looks, but I think I listened to Jordan Peterson. Or I'm not sure if it was Jordan Peterson or someone else.
The psychologist.
Yeah, psychologist. And one of the three things for a woman is one. See if is that he is kind and generous.
Yeah, how he's with his
family and friends, and how he deals with people. And then I guess unconsciously for a woman, that's mean he'll be good to me, kind of thing. The other thing, the next factor is that he's intelligent, because intelligence, as I say, able to solve problems and be able to bring in income, in the resources. And then that's the way of, I guess, it'll make your life easier. Like, this is what I say, this smarter I wouldn't say exactly smart, but the more life skills your partner has, the easier your life would be. Because they'll be able to solve problems. Now, this is the thing about intelligence, though. There are lots of different types of intelligence. Okay. And just because someone is, and our standard of measurement in society, the easiest one to quantify is IQ. And often that translates to academic intelligence. And academic intelligence is very easy to measure. It's just which level did the person study to? Was it just high school, a degree, postgraduate, or even PhD? It's easy.
Yeah.
But the other types of intelligence is quite hard to measure. Saying it's like street intelligence.
What's the real definition of intelligence, and where do you actually acquire the definition from? Most people say the dictionary, but if you look at the root etymology of the word, which you should do when you're looking at any definition, you need to go back to the source of the etymology. And intelligence, intel, you see. So is intelligence, like the intelligence quotation, is it really, isn't it just the ability to solve, ponder, pose, preempt problems? But as you say, it seems to be geared towards academic values.
And values.
Which is just like parroting, really, isn't it? It's like reading something, memorizing it, and then regurgitating it as if you just recorded it on something.
Yeah, I mean, like, for a man, what type of intelligence do they appreciate in a woman?
Well, a lot of guys are a bit scared of intelligent women.
Yeah, what type of intelligence? The academic intelligence? Because she's good. She's like a manager in a company?
Well, there's some, if you meet somebody that's a PhD.
Yeah, you get intimidation. Intimidated.
Yeah, or it can be quite alluring.
But then but then a lot of people, there's a common, I wouldn't say fault, but the pitfall people fall into is not distinguishing the different types of intelligence.
Indeed. But I mean, at least, I think in the relationship sense, it's more that, there's somebody I can talk to.
Okay, at that level.
There'll be a level of, at least we can communicate with this person. Whereas most relationships, if you see, there's very little discussion a lot of the times, perhaps.
Well, then they wouldn't, I don't know how they would have gotten together if they did not discuss, not able to talk.
Yeah, well, they're maybe just familiar with each other or whatever. But intelligence.
Yeah, what type of intelligence of a woman, is attractive? Okay, we have the academic intelligence.
Well, there's emotional intelligence as well. There's lots of mental intelligence, emotional intelligence. So, for example, does somebody, if they're not emotionally intelligent, with the slightest thing that upsets them, they might just go off like a nutcase.
It's emotionally unstable then. To me, that reeks of an unstable person.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe intelligence is not quite the right definition there, but yeah, there's lots of forms there's lots of definitions to the word intelligence, because there's memory intelligence, there's the ability to, I think I remember watching something by the world's most intelligent man, the man with the highest IQ.
250 or something?
Yeah, what's his name? Michael something, I forget his name now. But anyhow, the long story short is that he claimed that the world's highest IQ says that the intelligence quotation was mainly about the ability to stay one-pointed focused.
Okay.
So to be able to keep your mind focused on one subject matter without letting it deviate in any way, without digression.
That's going to be a problem for people with,
if you look
ADHD.
at, oh wow, what a beautiful figure she's got. Hey, you're so focused. I'm intelligent. I stayed focused. I've got a high IQ. I can stay focused on her for a whole 10 minutes.
So in terms of a man, okay, if she's academic intelligent, say she's got degrees and she works in corporate, so she'll be able to hold a conversation. But is that what they're after in terms of the intelligence?
Well, I don't know about the level of. I'm not sure about intelligence.
What's the purpose? I mean, is it just to hold a conversation?
Well, no. I suppose you've got to sort of like the person, isn't it? Like you've got to have a lot of.
No,
somebody can be really intelligent.
We're just talking about
somebody can be intelligent, but they might not be a pleasing personality. They might be shut off. They might be like a lot of the times when people are, intellectually superior to another person, there could be a level of arrogance.
But
I notice it myself a lot of the times. I used to get really arrogant because of. I'm only joking, but there can be a level of arrogance with intelligence. You see,
kind of, I've got a PhD and you're a high school dropout.
Yeah,
kind of
or your level of communication is just so boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
That it's that you can tell that the level of it's hard to engage. You see, it's hard to engage. But if something's a riveting conversation, then you want to engage in it.
But the thing is that people's intelligence is sometimes not so obvious. But it's not as obvious as, say, someone with a PhD, in terms of a streetwise intelligence. But I also think that intelligence on its own, it has been overused. Like people keep saying, "Oh, she's smart. He's so smart," and all that. Saying, "Oh, hang on."
Yeah, everybody seems to be a genius now.
Genius now. Well, what's average then? Do you call someone average?
Oh, they're
smart?
A genius. They're a genius.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
I think we're bandying around words a wee bit too much.
Too much. Used too liberally.
Yeah, it's used too liberally.
Liberally. I mean, it's. Do you call someone of average person smart?
No.
No, you don't. Okay, so
well, the bar's not set very high
the
here.
bar's not set very high anymore. Someone gets something. Oh, they're smart. If they can get it, I say no. That's someone that's average. And I looked at the IQ, and the average person, could be a secretary, could be a cop. That's average. But no, it doesn't mean that you don't get a fluke or something. Someone really intelligent, but just happened to end up in that role, that job. But that's something different. So I really thought about it and saying, well, what's smart then? Smart is something to distinguish yourself being above average. Apart from the main crowd. And to me, well, obviously, apart from the academic intelligence, which is not necessarily applies to life. It doesn't not necessarily translate to being good in or cope well in life. Smart in life, they're in their academia, but does not necessarily mean, this is the big kicker, they'll be able to solve problems. And for me, I thought about it. I think that is the really determinant of someone being smart, above average. We can call smart is they can solve problems.
Yeah, they're functionally intelligent.
Functionally, because the average person doesn't do it very well. Okay, goes through society really well, gets concepts, but if you're presented with a problem, how well can you solve it? In life, because sometimes we go through life and we're hit with all these issues. You might have had an accident, or it's saying the plumbing blew up, or issues with your neighbor. It's inevitable that you have something. And the thing is, how well can that person be able to solve it? And they're the ones that do it very well. Those are the people that are great to be with, because they can solve your problems and make things easier for you. Life easier, true?
Yeah.
Because when you marry someone, especially...
Well, there's people you can talk to, you know, your confidence or whatever, and they just seem like, there's some people I know that they just seem to know everything. Any problem that you have, it's instant, like they know how to solve it, sort of thing. And so yeah, doesn't mean to say I want to marry them, but...
But yeah, again, it's solve problems, but that is something I should close the deal. For me, everything else and this, it should close the deal.
Yeah, so deal closer.
Yeah, deal closer. So